Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the live stream. And if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and leave comments below if you'd like to comment on anything we talk about today. We do have a special guest, but first of all, I want to talk about a little bit what we're going to say. Oh, I have to mute this because I'm now hearing myself in the head. Where is my... I can hear myself. Mute. Okay, so there we go. I just had to get rid of a little echo in my head. I have to keep this in my ear because I need to be able to hear what Brian says, and that's who our special guest is today. And we're going to talk a little bit about what got me riled up last week. And yes, Craig, it is your fault, and I will get this chat fixed in just a minute when Brian's talking, and you'll be able to see yourselves talk again. So, without further ado, I want to introduce my very special guest and someone that we can roast all day long. Brian, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? My name's Brian. I live out in the suburbs of Chicago, the western suburbs. Actually found Brad when I was doing looking for some tutorials on Autel. Came across his channel. I think he only had maybe, 10 or I think about 50 or 60 subs at the time. So he's grown a lot since then. We've actually flown once together, but I definitely stay on top of his live streams and videos and everything else. Keep going. Brian Boo. Anyway, so like I said, I live out. Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is not automatically switching, oddly enough. So, Brian Boo, yeah. See, Brian, we're going to give you crap. I told you we were. You know it. You know we're going to give you crap.
Oh, that was Owen.
Oh, Owen. What's up, Mr. Owen? And I've got to read this from the screen because I can't read it here. So we've got Stan. Hey, Stan. And Brian, thank you for saying nice things, because Brian has been around on my channel, gosh, I think since I had like 2 subscribers. I think he was number 3. Well, I think you were definitely within the first 100, weren't you?
Definitely.
Yeah, so he's been around for a little bit, and we did fly. In fact, the thumbnail for this video is the time that we flew. I just grabbed a screenshot of one of the videos because I forgot to actually take a picture. So let's see, who do we got in the house? We got Squappy, also known as Craig. We got Wolf Drone Media. I can't speak today, Brian. We got that Foundation Aerial guy. I wonder who that is, Mr. Brian. So, Brian, I want you to talk a little bit about Foundation Aerial and what you want to do with it.
So I basically, I mean, to make a long story short, I've probably been filming things for well, roughly 20 years. I started with the camera that my mother-in-law had purchased for me for a wedding present, which was 20 years ago. It was the type where you loaded the VHS right into the camcorder and took off. Well, I'd done that for years and I enjoyed it. And as my kids got older, I started recording like sporting events and you know, graduations, that type of thing, and then family vacations. And then I started really collecting a ton of video, and I was wanting to share it with people. So at first, just with my family, like a family vacation video, I'd post it on YouTube and everybody would watch it, and that's how it started. After that, I kind of was using YouTube for free storage, basically. I mean, it was easy access, and they don't charge you anything to put all your video up there. Now, you know, I keep everything else on a hard drive, like I'm sure everybody else does, but the easy access and everything was what I really liked about it. So I'm doing all these videos. I got into editing, purchasing editing software, and I just really got hooked. I'm an addict. I love doing it. I actually even go back and use old footage and redo video when I don't have good stuff to do. And then about a year ago, I went to Lake Geneva, which is up north of us in Wisconsin, and one of my son's buddies had I think he had the Phantom 3. But anyway, he was flying over it. He showed me his videos and stuff, and I'm like, man, I got to have one. So one day, it was around last Christmas. I think I told Brad this story before, but I was at Walgreens, and there's a little drone there. It was an $80 drone on sale for 40 bucks. So I said, what the heck? I'm going to pick it up. It had a crappy little camera on it, whatever. So I put it together, charged the battery up, walk outside, lift off, and it just flew away. I never saw it again. It was a
I remember that.
Yeah. So I immediately got back in the car, went back to Walgreens, and bought another one. And I messed around with it. I was getting pretty good with it. And then I said, you know what? I love it. So I went and purchased the Autel, which is what I fly with now. And like I said, that's how I found Brad. I was looking for tutorials on the Autel and came across his channel. So really, I'm addicted to the drone. I love it. Being in the Chicago area kind of stinks because of the weather sometimes. So we only probably have 9 or 10 months that are good for flying, unless you really want to get risky. But I'll tell you what, when I hear those drone props start turning, I perk up a little bit. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
Oh man,
I don't necessarily. I'm not sure I want to like be YouTube famous or anything. I wouldn't mind making some money. I just like sharing what I do with people who like it.
And of course, as we all know, what he does sucks anyway. So it's good that he doesn't want to make money on it. Yes, I do give him shit about it all the time. So I want to say hi to Nth Degree Aerial Perspectives. I see you. I see. Oh, hey, there's Neil. Neil and I are having lunch tomorrow. And Neil, by the way, Brian, before we go too far, Neil is the reason I've been focused on other things today. So
that's the Nth Degree guy.
No, Neil. His name is Neil. He's right there. He says hi, Brian.
Oh,
so.
Man.
And then we got Mike in the house. We got everybody's in the house. We got about 16 people watching. That's probably a record for me. So anyway, I like Brian's story. Brian's story is actually a lot like mine because I've been doing video forever and a day. And when I first saw drones, and it was probably the Phantom 2 is when I saw one. And my wife and I, we were walking in over where Meigs Field was. It's Northerly Island. Thank you. Northerly Island. So we were over at Northerly Island. I saw a guy with a Phantom 2, and I'm like, I want that. So that, and I couldn't afford it, and I've always been wanting to get one, and then finally I got one, and we all know the story of the Autel. And I do give Brian a little bit of crap about the Autel, but I love the Autel. I think it's a very good drone. I really want everything going well. Hey, there's Variable. Variable, what's up? That's Matt.
Variable.
Now, Matt will probably go live right after my video because that's what he did last couple weeks. Notice that. Hey, and there's Eagle VP. Hey, Keith, how you doing? Glad you're here. So today we do want to talk. Let's get into the topic a little bit. And apparently the thing is not auto switching, so I'm going to have to auto switch it manually, which is, manually switching it. It's one of those days, and my brain is not working well. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about what really got me riled up last week. And I guess that's just kind of stupid for me to do, but we're going to go ahead and do that anyway. Because, Craig from Scrappy Video, he brought it up about North Carolina and how North Carolina makes you not register your drone, but take a test. And if you're going to do anything commercially. And then I saw, and I wish I could remember the link where I saw this, but I saw something about Breckenridge, Colorado, where they were actually creating it so that you would have to have a permit in order to fly because you did not have permission to fly on any of their property. Let's go a little bit about how the rule works as far as FAA goes. And I hope I don't freeze because I know we were having a problem earlier of me freezing. So the way the FAA rule goes is you can take off from any land that you have permission to do. Like if I'm at home and I'm in my yard, I've given myself permission to take off. So you are allowed to take off. Well, in Chicago, there's a lot of places you can take off from because if it's public property, you can take off from public property. Of course, then you got the rules about people and everything else, blah, blah, blah. We won't go into all those rules. The one we're focusing on is public property. So what Breckenridge did is says nobody has permission to fly off of their public property. Great. So you have to get a permit. Now, and this is, again, I can't remember where I saw it. If someone else has a link to that article, I would love it if you leave it to me in a message or something, and I'll post it as in the description below. But then North Carolina, as we talked about last week, what they've done is they've just said, hey, we're going to make you take a test. But you know what? I looked on their site. You only have to take a test if you're going to do it for commercial or government purposes. You don't necessarily have to take a test if you're going to do it for fun. So why? I mean, Brian, did you read the article that I did? Did you get a chance to look through that article?
I skimmed it real quick, but I wasn't able to read the whole thing. But are you saying that you have to get permission every time you fly?
That's a gray area. I think so. I think that, there might be a setup where if you live there, that you might be able to get more of a permit for more part of the year. But if you're like a visitor, pay me $5 so you can fly. It's kind of like a money grab. And again, that I don't know if that's what it is. I hope somebody knows. Yeah, just I hope somebody knows about that more than I do, because again, this is just something that's driving me nuts. So Neil, I just saw Neil, and Neil has the exact point that I want to make, and that is, if you're already FAA Pilot 107, 107 licensed, why do you need to take another test? Because isn't that already covered? I didn't look at the questions. I don't know why. Probably because I got focused on other things. But yeah. So what do you guys think?
You'd have to think the 107 is more extensive than the one they want you to take there, right? I mean, it can't be as hard.
And that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so Craig, you've done so per North Carolina, no for commercial use, no. I think you just take it, test once, and it's good for 2 years, and it's free. Okay, so Craig, you've taken it, and I assume it was relatively easy. What I want to know is, what is your opinion? I want to see what Craig has to say. And so, if I'm right, Brian, what is your opinion on the whole North Carolina thing?
Well, I think Nth Degree said it perfectly. I mean, I think it kind of might weed some people out that are doing stupid things with the drones, like flying them over the football stadiums, like we talked about last week. Now, that being said, I haven't tested for anything. So I do plan on getting my 107 because I actually would like to try to sell some stuff. But to this point, I'm not certified on any level.
Well, you're certifiable. You're certifiable, yeah, but just not for flying drones.
I'll see you there, Brad.
We'll just leave it. We'll just leave it right there. You walked into it. I'm gonna say it. All right. Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, Nth Degree does have a point there where it's kind of weeding out the extra boneheads. But if you're going to fly commercially in North Carolina and you take only their North Carolina test, you're then still violating federal law. Right. So yeah, you have to take both if you're going to fly North Carolina. And if there's anybody in North Carolina, if you could tell me, because I was reading another article where there's not a lot of places you can actually fly. Is that only if you are going to do it as a hobbyist, or is that also pertain to anybody commercial? I mean, if you got permission, I guess I don't know. I mean, I'm open to whatever anybody says. I hope you're reading those comments because they seem to be coming through a little bit quicker than I can read, Mr. Brian. What do you got?
Variable thinks it's BS, but good for the safety.
Yeah, yeah.
Neil says if it's so easy, then HAT is the point. FAA for commercial is the rule.
Yeah, yeah. I think Neil's got fat fingers on that one. So you do have to take both. Go ahead. Yeah. You got to take both. Okay, I'll talk some more. You can read. So yeah, this is to me. There were plenty of places to fly in North Carolina. Okay, so that's not even part of it. The problem is I see this becoming an issue because even like with us in Chicago and you in the suburbs, when we went to go fly together, we I don't know if we were supposed to fly there. Pretty sure we were okay because it was a public place. But later on in the week, I went somewhere else with someone else we were kind of close to there, but we found out later after we were done flying, I'd been flying for about an hour. I found out later it was a disc golf course. You probably know where that was at, don't you? Maybe. There's where you do the frisbee golf or whatever it is.
Golf.
Yeah, that. So.
Oh wait! Breaking news, Brad. Neil does have obese fingers.
Oh, obese fan. I like that. Yes, I have that problem too. I'll just keep my hands down here. It is on the NC. Yes. If you look, Stella, if you look, I have a link in the description of this video on the NC stuff. But since you don't live in the US, you probably don't have to worry about it. She lives in the UK. So she's over there with Keith and with Owen. They got it. I want to see the three of you get together and fly. I want to see Keith, Owen, and Stella get together. I want to see a video.
Do they live close enough?
What? I don't care. They live on the they're on the other side of the Atlantic. That's all that matters.
How big could it be, right?
It's got. I mean, yeah. How big could it be? Really, it's only this big on the map. Yeah, but it is on the DOT site. I've got a link in the description. So I did find that, and I put that up there, and I put another article I think in there about it. Maybe I just sent that to you.
Stella says that the laws are going to be changing there in May.
In May. So what, Stella? I'm all ears for what's going to happen.
Owen chimed in that they're bringing in registration. So they don't have to register them there right now, huh?
Oh, that's right. I did hear about that. I heard that they do have to register. They'll have to start registering their drones. Is that going to be, and I think it was for hobbyists and for commercial purposes, I believe, in the UK. And I'm telling you what, Keith, Owen, and Stella, if you guys do get together and fly, I want to make some cool video, all right? And Owen, did anybody see Owen's video from the shoot that he was on? And I forget where he was at, but it was for Vodafone, I think it was. It was really cool. He did a good job. He did like a behind the scenes. So check out that
one. I usually catch all his.
Yeah, he put it up a couple days ago, I think. Okay, Owen probably knows a little bit more about those details. So where I was going with this is the rules with local ordinances. And I mean, here we are now, we got the state of North Carolina getting in on the things. We've got the FAA, and, you know, Chicago is, like I said before, it's a friendly city, but, you know, they even have extra rules on top of what FAA has. So then you're going to have to know the city that you're in, what those rules are. And if you're in a rural country, maybe you got to worry about county rules, and then you got to go find the county seat. And then basically, you're going to have a list of places you have to check for the rules. That's a pain, but it may end up being that, and that's going to suck. I hope that will become a central location for all of that information, so you can look it up relatively easy. Because in Chicago, you know, you still have the same, you know, all FAA rules apply at all times. But in the city of Chicago, you know, you don't take off at Millennium Park. I don't think that the city doesn't really want you to do that, and the park rangers will keep you from doing that. But Grant Park, as long as there's nobody around, I've done it. You can do it from any public place as long as there's no people around. You cannot fly over government buildings. You cannot fly over the canal, but that's a federal no-fly zone. You cannot fly over any kind of infrastructure. No, can't fly over the jail or the prisons, which we all know why that is. We also can't fly over churches, schools, cemeteries, which really sucks because I would really like to fly over Graceland. That'd be really cool. Then there's a couple other ones in there that you can't fly over. Obviously, Wrigley Field during a game or concert, White Sox, and all of those. But if you're not from Chicago and you come in from, say, Florida, like some guy named Craig, and he comes in and he's like, I'm just going to go fly, and he goes down to Millennium Park and starts taking off, he's going to have a problem. You know, or if he starts flying over the city county building, he's going to have a problem if they catch him, you know.
So what do the Rangers do, Brad? Do they just ask you to bring them down?
Well, I haven't tried, but I do know that if you show up like with a drone, they're like, you know, you're not going to fly that here. And I do know also, some people don't realize this, but Buckingham Fountain is private property. It's not public. So Buckingham Fountain is private property, so they don't give you permission to fly over that. I found out that the hard way, not flying, but actually having my DSLR, and I was doing a time lapse just of Buckingham Fountain, and one of their security guards came up to me and says, "Are you using this for commercial purposes?" And being the smart person I am, I said no, because that is a problem. They don't want you to make money on their stuff because that's theirs. But then you get into other rules of other stuff. So you can't take off from Buckingham Fountain. I would definitely not do that because you won't get permission. I mean, unless you get permission. If you get permission, great, but you have to ask them for the permission. So what are they saying in the chat, Mr. Brian?
a lot of the stuff about the UK. I was going to mention too. I've been asked to bring it down a couple times. Once, the last time was when I was in Kansas City for the eclipse back in whatever that was, August. And I'm just buzzing around this huge park. Not a lot of people around. The ranger comes up. He's like, "You got to bring that down. You can't fly that here." And I'm like, "No, no problem. You mind if I just ask why?" And everybody I've asked why, nobody's been able to tell me why. So they're like, "You can't do it, but we don't know why." So especially I was a little aggravated because of obviously that was an eclipse. I mean, that's a day that doesn't happen too often, and I could have gotten some great footage that day, but he grounded me, and what am I going to do? Argue with the guy and then get kicked out of the park or whatever? So
Well,
I was just curious, if other people have experienced the same thing where they say, "Oh, you got to bring it down."
I
But
haven't
why?
experienced that yet. I haven't. No one's ever asked me to bring it down.
Well, you follow all the rules too.
Shh. I do. I tend to. Um, so read what Neil said. I can't read that while I'm talking.
It says,
But
you didn't know? Allowed?
unless a
Unless
complaint is made, that's what I
no
was
one
talking about.
enforces in Chicago, could be fined if FAA finds out.
Neil, you got to learn to type, man. So there's no policy written from
Is,
law enforcement.
is Neil local?
Yeah, Neil lives like 2 miles from my house.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Neil, and he's lived in Chicago for a long time, and he knows a thing or two. He's definitely a reliable source when it comes to that kind of information.
What's he fly?
He flies. Remember that 3D Air Solo I unboxed?
Ah,
That was his.
nice.
But he's got his hands in a lot of things. He likes to do a lot of different things, but he does enjoy the flying.
So he also says that the policy isn't written for local law enforcement, which is probably why they don't know what to say when you ask them why.
Yeah,
And
I've flown in Independence Park with a cop, not more than 100 yards from me, and they just drove away. They didn't even bother looking. Now I'm sure if I went and I buzzed Soldier Field during a football game, I'm gonna be in trouble.
oh, they
But I'm
arrested
not
that
gonna do
other
it.
guy in California that did that. I mean, he dropped
Yep.
flyers, but still.
Yep. Well, and the one case I've heard from downtown Chicago was the kid that, or the well, not kid, the whatever dude that was hovering for a long time outside of Lakeshore Point or Lake Point,
Tower?
whatever that place over by Navy Pier.
Yeah.
Because he landed his drone on the building, on the lower tier of the building or whatever, and well, that's what's going to happen, and that's the only time I've ever really heard anything in Chicago, and
Yeah.
it's just that's just the way it is. And I'm sorry, I got sidetracked with the chat.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Drone Wolf is concerned with the posting frequency for Neil.
Well, Neil's a busy man. I would like to see Neil put something up, but I don't think Neil. Wait, Neil, you did get your FAA. You got your 107, didn't you? That would be good. I'm glad you got that. I think you did.
Owen here says that the laws are now allowing police to confiscate your drone on site. Do you get it back, Owen, or do they keep it?
That would so make me mad. And see, here in Chicago, I think that it is, like I said, drone friendly, but I think if I really pushed the rule too much, I don't want to be the guy that they make the law for.
They name it
It's
after
like,
you, Brad. The Brad
yeah.
law.
And this is because Brad's an idiot. This is called the idiot Brad law. It will be an issue the next Lollapalooza. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That what Neil just said. Do you read that?
Yeah. And those would be some great aerial views,
Yep.
I mean, you don't have to fly over necessarily to get good footage. But
You're right. Because Robo Aerial, you guys know I work with him. He's done all of the Riot Fest the last 5 or 6 years or whatever it's been, however long he's been doing it. And he's got aerial footage, but none of it was ever flown over any of that. He used the Inspire 1, and he had a bit of a telephoto lens that made it look like he was right over the crowd, but yet he's still, 40, 50 feet well far away from the crowd. And
yeah. Plus, I think shots of that would be good going left to right, at maybe 50 or 60 feet. And instead of, not just flying over. I mean, you've mentioned that many times. A lot of people get their drone and they shoot it up to 400 feet and fly around in circles. But I don't think I think the lower footage is better than the higher footage. I mean, depending on the scale of what you're filming. If you're filming something out in like in nature or something like that, well, then that 400-foot shot looks good. But if you're doing smaller things like a crowd or a concert or something like that, I think 50 to 75, maybe 100 feet, if no trees and stuff, is perfect.
I agree, as you know, because I made the video just about that. And I think, I'd like to see a shot of Lollapalooza from just the other side of Lakeshore Drive, so basically on the lakes, almost on the lake, from maybe 150 feet, because then it should get up over the trees and just angle it down a little bit. I think that would be a nice dolly shot. That'd be a great dolly shot just to see all the people. Of course, I would like to fly right over them and get that cool straight down shot, but
just
I'm sure that
make it quick.
real quick, and don't post the video. Oh wait, that's right. The video is not proof of a law being broken.
Yep. You can always slow it down and post. Don't get the props in there.
Well, when you're looking straight down, if the props are in there, you're in deep trouble already.
You're going really fast, right?
I see what Owen says. He says it's worrying as police will take away anything that they think is dangerous, even if it is not. That would be
that's interesting that they can confiscate it, but.
I'm glad that they're not doing that about that. So, Neil likes the back and forth. See, let's see, Neil, I've known him, actually, Brian, about the time you contacted me is right around the same time he contacted me. So Neil's been around for a while too, but he's, again, a busy guy. And he's just now starting to get back into watching me on the live stream because he's on vacation till the end of the month. So
I don't think I've seen him in here before. If so, I missed him.
He hasn't been in a while. I think he popped in at the last second of the last one, or no, I think that's when he called me. He actually called me during last week's live stream, and he's like, "Oh, I hope I didn't interrupt anything." I'm like, "No, the phone was on silent, man." In fact, I've already had 2 phone calls.
YouTube channel. I don't think he's got any videos. You don't post videos on YouTube? What does he do this for a living? Oh, he's a newbie.
Yeah, he does not do drones for a living. He is a hobbyist. He enjoys it. There are some things that he wants to do, has business ideas that he's still developing. So, but he's not going out and making videos because he's the business mind. That's why he and I are meeting tomorrow, because he and I have a lot in the business mind thought patterns. Just like you and I have a lot in the video mind thought patterns. Yeah, Neil doesn't make, that just doesn't want to post his videos. He doesn't have the time to sit down and edit them.
So he's like me, he's got a regular job as well.
Yes, he does have a regular. In fact, his job takes him a lot more hours than your job does.
I shouldn't say a regular job, but a 9 to 5 or whatever.
Oh, I think his job starts at like 6 a.m. and goes until 4 a.m. Some days, I'm sure it feels like it. I know he's put his time in, that's for sure. And what else was I looking at? Okay, okay. I'm just trying to catch up in the.
He said Neil also just said Pinky and the Brain, but maybe you get that one, huh? That's
because I'm old. That's an old cartoon. That's a cartoon reference.
Not much older than me. I've never heard of that.
What? You've never heard of Pinky and the Brain?
No.
I never watched it, but I heard of it.
All right, don't get too far off topic, Brad.
Oh. Okay, so let's talk about, we've talked about the different rules. So let's talk about, I don't know, what would you like to talk about, Brian? I'll put you on the hot spot.
Oh, jeez, I don't know. I wasn't planning on that. I thought I was just going to add some witty banter. I'm like your color guy for a baseball game. You deliver the content, and I just make some nice comments here and there.
Well, that's not much fun. Oh, hey, look, Tom's here. Nice shots posted. Oh, you like the robo aerial stuff. Thank you very much. I'm going to get you off screen. We don't want to have you on screen. That's ugly.
And I'll actually give you a compliment, Brad. And I've told you over the last couple months, your videos are coming along, man. They're solid.
Thank you.
They're definite improvement. Not that your original ones were bad by any means, but they're definitely getting better.
Oh my dude, I'll tell you, okay, this is going to be a one-time only thing. My other channel is Let's Go Road Tripping. If you want to see some really bad videos, go to the very first videos I made on that channel. That channel is where I learned how to get better.
Why don't you post a
And
link for that, Brad, so we can all get a laugh?
why? Actually, if you look on my channel, on the drone channel, I have a link to it sitting like over underneath. It's like, it's there. Let's Go Road Tripping. It looks like a road sign with the Let's Go Road Tripping on there. No G on the end. Brad, the trees on the Vodafone shoot were very difficult as they had to get the good shots. That meant getting close. Oh, yeah. So during his Vodafone shoot, they had to make it look like it was winter. So I don't know what they were doing. I mean, I've seen this in production videos before, but they put white stuff. They blow it like a styrofoam kind of thing all over the trees. And he got really, really close to that white stuff with his drone. And this is just white stuff blowing all over. And I'm like, don't get that into your drone. So, yeah. Did anyone... Oh, Stan, you know what? I have not had to take the test for the DJI test yet. No, I haven't.
Is that the one for the app that you were talking about the other day, or somebody was talking about that?
Well, yeah. When you open up the DJI Go 4 app, you gotta take a test. It's like 9 questions. If you look at, I saw that Ken Heron had to do it now, and it's just so easy. It's ridiculous easy. And
like, do you fly with your eyes closed or open?
Almost that easy. Yes. Like, do you fly over crowds of people? Where's the one place you can never fly? Washington, D.C. Yeah, pretty much. I think it's 15 miles, Washington, D.C. You guys tell me that. Oh, yes. And Stella, I did get the reference. Stella's Take Over the World. That is a reference to the Pinky and the Brain, just so everybody knows. Thank you for saying that I had good robo aerial, because, oh, man, that was a fun job being on the boat, on the tugboat.
Where was that, on the lake, Brad?
Burns Harbor.
All right. Yeah, that was some nice shots. Look cold, though.
Oh my God, it was windy. Oh, and here's the thing. I so forgot to mention this. And I wish to God I'd had video of this, or someone would have. So we get up with his Inspire 2, and keep in mind, he just got this Inspire 2 maybe 2 months ago, and he's enjoying the heck out of it, and he's starting to make some good money with it. And he gets it up there, and it's windy. It's probably, 20-mile-an-hour winds. It was a pretty stiff, and it would gust up there a little bit. I mean, his Inspire was leaning decently. So we get up there, and all of a sudden we both hear another drone. A P3P comes and flies right over us about 100 feet and goes right towards the Inspire. And we're like, no. He did. Oops.
Sorry. I'm laughing at Neil's comment.
Well, yeah, I'll look at that in just a second. So anyway. Oh, God. Anyway, so Neil. So anyway,
I like it, Neil. That's funny.
So anyway, so the other drone was flying, and it was going right towards the Inspire, and we're like, oh my God. So we got on the radio saying, there's another drone around here, and we're not supposed to even be on the radio. We're just here to listen to the radio. And in fact, he got a little trouble for even saying, he's like, yeah, well, I don't want my expensive drone to be crashed by a $300 drone, or probably $500 drone. But anyway, we don't know whose drone that was. And they did hear us on the radio, apparently, because they looked and they got away from us. We don't know where they were flying from. We were pretty sure it was the crew on the big boat, because that's all, the only other place it could have come from. Because you have to have security to get into this place. So anyway, the funniest part was, and we missed this, and I wish I'd have had this on video. You guys saw those big cranes, right? Those 2 big yellow cranes. Well, their drone hit one of them and went down. So bye drone, and we missed it. If I'd have had that on video.
In the water?
Yes, it's done. We were actually told that by the guy who hired us. He says, yeah, I saw it hit the pole and go down. I'm like, oh man, I wish I'd have had that on video, because that would have been all over the internet.
Yeah, I've been lucky with the water. The only thing I've crashed was my my car. I flew it straight into my car.
You flew, wait a minute. You flew into your car?
Yep. I don't know how it happened. It just, I lifted off, and it just flew sideways right into the car. Nice dent in the car too. Luckily, I only broke a prop. Broke one of the props. Yeah.
Oh my
Idiot.
God. Oh, I got to catch up with these things real quick. Thanks for saying professional looking vids, Neil. Appreciate it.
He was talking to me.
No, I'm sure he was not. If he looked at your stuff, he'd be like, what the hell is that? What's this crap? So when I meet Brian next, please, guys, I'm going to make sure everybody knows about it, because if I disappear, it's going to be him.
No.
So, Stella, you didn't hear about the test, about the DJI test. Yeah, basically, DJI has put it upon themselves to say, hey, we're going to test to make sure you know a thing or two about where you should fly. And it's really simple in 9 questions of don't fly here, don't fly there. And I think it might just be in the U.S. because those are pretty U.S.-oriented questions. So maybe you won't see that. I haven't seen it yet. Stan says he hasn't seen it yet. So I don't know. I don't know when it pops up.
It's like Drone Wolf had a couple of crashes. What is
yours?
That? Drone Wolf said he only sank his Cyma. I've never heard of that one. X8HC, but that's a mouthful.
The Cymas are cool. I mean, they're nice, cheap little drones.
But he crashed a 3 and the 4 on land. What's Care Refresh? Is that like a warranty?
Oh, yeah. Care Refresh is a wonderful thing. I've got it on my drone, on the P4P. Basically, no matter what happens to your drone, if you crash it, or if you basically take a sledgehammer and decide to destroy it, for whatever reason, you can return it, and you pay like a much smaller fee to get it. They'll put you in a priority, and they'll basically replace your entire drone.
Is that expensive?
It was $129 for the year
through DJI.
Yeah, straight through DJI. Just take another thug photo.
That's Brad's screensaver at home too, guys.
Oh yeah, It's on my dartboard now. This will be on my dartboard next. This picture right here.
Stella's saying that they've had the DJI has been in the news a couple times. What about?
Yeah, I would like to know what they're going about. So Owen says I should mute you when you do that. I'd like to know what that's about because I haven't seen it. 99 for the Mavic, 129 for the Platinum. Oh yeah, so it must have been 149 that I paid for the P4P. So those numbers, yeah, that sounds about right.
Does Autel do it too?
No, but Autel's got good customer service. I mean, when I dumped mine in the lake, they replaced it for free.
Yeah, well, I had a problem with my video stopping, and they wanted me to send it in, and it took like 2 weeks to get it to Seattle, and then 2 weeks to diagnose it. I'm like, geez, a month, and then it was just the SD card. I think I told you that.
Oh yeah, that's when I said just put in a better SD card in it, and it works. They were told to apply the update or they will be grounded. Whoa. Oh, okay. Brian, I'm going to have you read variable Matt. Go ahead and read it on screen.
What about DJI spying on us?
What's your opinion on it? Have you read any of that stuff?
I didn't see anything about that.
Keep in mind, Mr. Brian flies an Autel. He doesn't have to worry about that stuff.
Honestly, my next one will probably be the DJI. If most likely.
Most likely.
I kind of what's the one that folds? I can't think of it now.
The Mavic.
The Mavic. That one looks cool because just so that it's simple ease. I mean, you could toss it in a backpack or something. You know, I love my Autel case that came with it, which is a great hard case, but it's a hassle sometimes dragging that thing all over the place when you could just throw some batteries in the drone in a bag and go. You gotta zip it, and the big top you gotta open. So, like I said, it's nice for traveling and stuff. It's great, but for like everyday use, it's kind of a pain.
I agree. I mean, I know I want the Mavic also because of that compact. Because if I had that with me at all times, in fact, I even contemplated, and I'm still the Spark. I thought about doing the Spark just because I could have that with me, and that could be part of my vlog. You know, use that for my vlog. But I can't really fly the 2 drones at once. I don't trust myself. I know a lot of people. Yeah, and I know a lot of people don't. I don't want to have to tag Brian around because if Brian, I got to tag you around, and you've got to fly my Spark. That's going to happen, right?
Yeah. Stan's saying you can ignore that test 4 times and then you get grounded.
Yes, that's what will happen.
So when they say you get grounded, will the app not let you take off?
Basically, yeah.
What if you
Now,
fly without it?
that's my exact response. So there, I haven't tried this yet. In fact, when the test pops up on mine, I am going to try this. I am going to get on mine and I'm going to load up Litchi. I'm going to start up Litchi and we'll see if it works. Because when we did a shoot inside a warehouse, I think I told you about last week, and I can't show you any of that footage because of an NDA, unfortunately. And that footage came out really cool. But while I was doing it, I had to clear some space on my tablet because it was DJI was saying I can't start because and I cleared a bunch of space and then DJI wouldn't start because I got rid of some important file. Oh crap! So DJI won't start. So I started up Litchi and everything worked out fine. So my thought is I'm going to try to start up when I get that test. The very next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down. I'm going to start up the Litchi and see if I can fly because there's your workaround. You don't because everybody's like, oh, DJI sends all this information. You don't have to use their app. It's very simple. Use Litchi. Heck, you can use Drone Deploy to fly around.
Right.
Video. I mean, it's anything. So now, have you, Matt, by the way, Variable Brian also has the Autel, and he has done 3D mapping with it. Have you seen
I saw
those?
his 3D mapping video the other day. I think I remember seeing it on your last live stream, and I went and checked them out.
Yes, I was wondering about that if you'd heard it, but that's something that you like just playing with videos.
Yeah. Looks like Joe just showed up. He's late again, and he's also swearing in the chat. I know how you feel about that, Brad.
Joe, dang it.
Neil says the U.S. Army banned serving soldiers from using DJI drones, saying they posed operational risks. In response, DJI drones were given a privacy mode that restricted who saw the video they shot. Wow.
Yes, and that is definitely what they did. And I think I don't know how to turn a privacy mode on. I don't really care. Here's the other thing: is I don't fly I don't fly with any kind of internet connection when I fly. It's all I have a Wi-Fi, and I don't have a mobile connection. So that stuff I can delete that stuff before it goes anywhere.
Neil also wishes that Gary Mortimer was on the show with us.
Gary Mortimer, I don't know that name.
These things are going right over my head.
I don't know who Gary Mortimer is either. Naughty people have been flying over prisons. Yeah, Stella has a good answer there. Naughty people have been flying over prisons, and that's the new regs next year. Well, yeah, people have been dropping contraband because it's extremely easy to do that with a drone.
Varial brings up a good point too. Everything goes into your flight logs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it does. And if you use their app to do it, then yes, it will do it. But you can also use AirData, which AirData is, I think, is not a U.S. company. So you can get around using DJI. You don't have to use DJI. However, their app is pretty darn good, and of course, it's meant to be used that way, and it works really well. Blah blah blah. So we'll see. Oh, he writes for SUAS News. Wow, Gary Mortimer. So we'll have to get Gary Mortimer on the show. Maybe that'll get me a couple subs. That'll be nice. I need about 9,000 more. I want to hit that 10,000 mark. Can I get that 10,000 mark by tomorrow?
I think you're working at a pretty decent, steady pace there, Brad.
I am. I'm hitting about 200 a month every 28 days, but I'm greedy.
It'll come.
Yeah, Joe flies as many quads.
They don't have flight logs, right?
They don't have GPS. They don't have anything. He also has crappy video.
Does anybody
worse than Brian's? And that's hard to do.
I was looking to, if anybody wants to throw out a couple ideas, I was looking to maybe spend $300 or $400 on one just to kind of have fun, fly around in the winter. Doesn't have to have a great camera or anything like that, but something I don't need to worry so much about. I don't know if anybody's
I think Joe is definitely your guy. He's a local guy too. Joe's in the area.
Really?
So you might want to. Yeah, he's I forget which burbs he's in. I think he might even be near you. No, he's north, I think. Your video is fine. Actually, Joe, you do some cool stuff. You did have some older ones, I think, that were a little bit jumpy, but your flying is really getting really good. No one says I want 10,000. He wants 300 subscribers. Owen, you got to work at it. You're doing good. I think that. I mean, you
What
guys
do
all
you,
know Owen's got talent.
what's
I'm
Owen
surprised
at now?
he's only at 300. Wasn't that kind of crap? I mean, I think everybody should be
You
joining
know
his
what?
channel.
I noticed that the other day when I was watching one of his videos that he was at around 300, but his videos get good views. I
Yeah,
mean, most of the time you see somebody's got like 1,000 subs and they get 500 views on a video. He's got 300 subs and he's getting 300 views on his video. So that, I
yeah,
mean, that's something there. It's just people aren't subbing.
right.
You got to
And
beg.
you got to ask. You got to ask. If you don't ask, they don't do it. That's why I ask you every single time. Call to action. So Matt says, send those 200 a month my way, and no problem, Drone Wolf. That's it. Well, Drone. You know what, Drone Wolf? We'll have to have you on one of these. You're in Idaho, so you're about an hour difference, so I think we can make it work.
Variable has he thinks that even if it's a third-party app, the flight data is still saved on the drone. You agree with that?
I think it is, but you can still format the SD card, and I mean, I don't know if it's not on the SD card. If it's on a solid state chip somewhere on the drone, then that's a little different. Um, then
Yeah,
then I get a little bit more, and again, these are things that that could very well be happening, and he has a damn good point, and I didn't even think about that, but hey,
yeah. Job said something that she says he doesn't even care about the subs anymore, and honestly, I kind of agree with him. I just
yeah,
like making the stuff and putting it up there. I mean, like I said, if I could get something to go viral, I think that would be cool to do once. Um,
yeah.
but I have no desire to be. Who's your favorite one? Is that Casey? Brad, you like that Casey guy, right?
I ought to. I'm a smacker. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave this on you now, just to make you feel uncomfortable.
But so another thing, though, like Owen, he's from when you did the live stream with him. I mean, he's a young man that wants to do something with it. I mean, I think he's got a great opportunity in front of him. He's got plenty of time and plenty of time to get better and learn. I mean, I try not to miss any of his stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and talking about the subs, I mean, I think it comes from me being a programmer kind of guy, and I like numbers and I like to see statistics and I like to see things grow. It's just I don't know what it is. I like to see numbers. I don't want to work with numbers. I just want to see my numbers grow. Whether it's views or time or subs or whatever. I like to see the numbers. It's really weird. I'm really weird that way. I'm really
Well, plus
weird.
this is how you want to make your living, using the drone, whether it be on YouTube or working for Robo or your own company or whatever. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. It's just not what
Well,
everybody
yeah,
does.
exactly. And I mean, one of the things I saw is that you want to have multiple streams of income, and I would like to have at least YouTube be something of a stream of income. Right now, because of Stan's beautiful donation, I actually going to hit $50 for the month. That's his donation is the only reason I got even close to that. Now, but this is not obviously my only income. I do want to do Robo Aerial. I also do my own thing, like you just said, and I want to do all of it. But this is a nice passive income, and quite honestly, I really like making the videos for this channel. I love making those. I love making the vlogs. They're pretty time intensive though, as far as recording them. You don't realize what goes on. I mean, if you've done a lot of editing, you probably know what goes on. But I love making those. They're a lot of fun. The first one I made, the very first drone vlog I made was a blast. I'm like, I want to get back to that quality because I don't feel like I feel like my quality for the drone vlogs went backwards a little bit. Except I do think the last one was pretty good. The story was great for the last one, except for the fact that I missed the drone that crashed.
Yeah.
And like everybody's saying, yeah, Joe, yes, I do not like nice stat, as you know. But anyway, as Drone was saying about Owen, and everybody's saying about Owen, I mean, he's great for someone as young as he is, as young as you are, Owen. Keep it up, man. If it's something you like to do, just keep doing it, and it will just happen. There'll become a day of poof, it's there. Create yourself a little end screen to say, hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. 10 seconds or 5 seconds of that. If you like what you see and you want more, subscribe to my channel. Very simple, because you're going to hear me say that in pretty much every single video. And I mean, the people that have subscribed, I mean, I'm sure Brian, once I hit my special spiel, he's like, I'm done watching the video, right? You probably
Mm.
click off the video the minute I start going into my, hey, and if you da 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 da, you're like, I'm good.
No, no, no. I wait for one thing every time, Brad.
Oh, that's right. You like the buy. Here's the thing with that. I'm going to keep you on for now. I'm going to take you off. And here's the thing with that. Some people love it. Some people hate it. And in fact, Robo Aerial, he says, if you keep doing that, I'm not going to watch videos. I'm like, yeah, but everybody else says if you keep doing it, if I don't do it, they won't watch videos. So
Yeah.
I'll take you going away for one over 500 staying.
Yeah.
So
You know
yeah.
what? You know what? I think you're doing incorporating a little bit too more, Brad, and I like doing it too. Is you know, like throwing a GoPro, some GoPro footage in your videos, or some land shots, um, and mixing it up a little bit. Because you know, sometimes I watch the drone videos, and it's just the whole time it's in the air and you know, spinning in circles or moving too fast. And you know, like my arboretum video, I threw the GoPro on the suction mount on my on hood of my car, and I drove the whole path through the arboretum and mixed that in. And I think that really gives you that just gives the video a better watch. And,
Yeah. 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 What I was going to say is what you're doing is you're building a story. And that's the key is you build a story. And actually my GoPro has been stolen. Actually, I gave it to Neil because I had bought this other cheap GoPro that is a piece of crap and I don't use it.
which
Yeah, I
one did you
told
have, Brad?
I had the GoPro 3. I had the Hero
Okay.
3.
Hero? Yeah.
And Neil has it now because it fits really well with his solo, so he plays with that, and that's fine. And
I actually used the session, and I like that one simply because of how easy it is to use. I mean, it's small. I mean, you throw that thing in your pocket, but you know, you can't. It doesn't have a video screen on it, but you know, half the time when you're doing something like I've done zip lining and stuff on it, I don't have time to look to make sure the shot's okay. I'm zip lining or you know, rafting or you know, whatever you're doing. So the session, I think I'm gonna get another one, and I'm probably gonna buy the session again. Even I think they're just the convenience is so nice. Yeah, Joe, they're awesome. You'll have a good time with it.
yeah, I looked at the session. I mean, I thought about that too, and they're like $100 cheaper, I think, weren't they? Something like that. Yeah. And really quick, so Drone Wolf Media has made $8 all year. Great, woohoo! And now one thing, and I've actually talked to Craig about this. His end screen, I think it. Have you seen his end screen?
Is that Squappy?
Squappy, yeah.
Yes, I liked. I think I mentioned on one of his videos. I like his intro too.
Well, as I've said many times, it's too long, but that's me. But yeah, it looks awesome. It looks awesome. I think 3 seconds is what it is now. Is what I like. I have attention deficit disorder.
I don't like. I don't mind him being long. Squirrel.
Squirrel.
I don't mind it being long as long as they're not too long. But I think his is good.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about how long, if you watch a movie, how long do they, you know, the MGM or whatever, that probably sits up there 5-8 seconds.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah, you got.
and it looks like he shortened it a little bit.
Oh, he did. Oh wow. See, that's how bad. I didn't even notice it. I'm a horrible person.
Yeah, Joe. You know, I saw those at Target. I wanted to get the 5, the 5 because it has the 4K now, but $150 is a steal. And I'll tell you what, that the 1080 that you get off that session is pretty good, especially underwater.
I agree, but I want to go back to Owen real quick because I just see it's okay. Owen says he thinks he has a massive opportunity with people in the advertisement business asking him to do stuff already. Because number one, he's free because they're not allowed to pay him because he's so young.
He doesn't need to make money though. He
doesn't. The experience
luxury he has.
Exactly. And one of the things he mentioned is that it is very hard to get into that industry, and for him to be in it now, when he can actually start charging money, he'll be able to charge a higher rate almost immediately because he will already have the experience and people already know him. And I'm going to tell you, in the entertainment industry, in the film industry, marketing industry, it is not how great of a worker you are. You do have to be a worker, but it's how much fun or how you are working with. If you're someone who's a deadbeat or someone who's boring or just always on your phone and not paying attention to people or whatever, they don't want you. But if you're someone who's always, hey, I can do that, or fun to talk to, or just whatever, they're going to keep you around more. And that is actually, people don't realize it, but that is actually true, because I can't tell you how I know that. but I do know this information. It's interesting being the extra a couple times. That doesn't really it's. I took a class or a mentorship on how to get into that industry, and the only reason I stopped the mentorship is because I realized that's not the industry I want to be in for many, many reasons. But there are so many things that you can do. But the biggest thing is be a little bit of a go-getter and just don't be a total loser on set. And if you do that, Owen, you are going to go very far, very, very far. And I want a little piece of credit one day.
You don't owe him anything, Owen.
No, you don't. Hey, look, there's Brian. Okay, he's gone now. When is this finishing? Oh, Joe, go back to work. I don't know. We're going to be, oh my God, we're done. It's been almost 55 minutes.
Yeah, I'm good for like 5 or 10 more minutes if you want.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more. So 150 at Target.
Yeah,
for the handheld
session.
gimbal?
No, for the session.
The
really?
4. The 4. That still
so
does
the
4K.
5 came out. No, it's 1080. That doesn't do 4K.
I need 4K.
Yeah, that's why I was going to upgrade to the other one. But if you don't need the 4K, I mean, $150, that's a steal.
Yeah, it is. So Joe, if you need to head out, man, I understand. I won't cry. So he sped it up to 3 seconds. By 3 seconds, I'm reading Craig Squappy. Best Buy get the warranty. I'm trying to catch up now. End screen is 14 seconds, which is good. The end screen can be up to 20 because that's how long they allow the things be up there, and that's fine. I mean, you guys see how I always do a nice little aerial thing in the end, and I throw my cards up over that after that. By the way, just so you guys know, it's over here. Wherever the card is for this, you can find Brian's channel. Make sure you find Brian's channel and subscribe to it if you're not already. And also, it's in the link in the description below.
Hey, I want to say something to Owen too. He listen, Owen. When I'm on, I'm the funny guy, not you. Okay. Enough of the jokes. And trust, I love that mop on your head there. That's awesome.
Brad Weinstein is gone, so I'm safe. Neil. Did you read Neil's comment there, Brian?
Let me see. Which?
Casting
Which
couch.
One?
Casting
couch.
Yes. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to go be the next Harvey Weinstein, except for the whole harassment part of it. Let's do that. Oh, Joe's back already? Your hair is epic. Own it. That's right. My hair is epic.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're talking about Owen.
Yeah, probably.
At least I hope so. Yeah. I can.
It looks like you did do a photo shoot. Owen.
Sweet. I think that's awesome.
Did you post that, Owen? I don't remember seeing anything about that.
I would like to see that. He's going to go somewhere. You guys watch. He's going to be huge in about 10 years, 10 or 15 years. We're going to be like, hey, I remember when he was doing that. Joe's work is easy. Yeah, Joe's work is easy. Joe just sits around and does nothing. And he gets paid like $1 million just for doing nothing. Right, Joe? That's what Brian's actually at work right now. You see how hard he's working. Of course.
It is after hours, Brad. Hopefully my boss isn't on the stream.
Oh, yeah. Neil's your boss, right?
Yeah. Soon. He may be soon.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want that. He's a mean boss. He's a horrible boss. Oh, so yeah, Joe's pretty much is before the drones. Oh, he did the model shoot before the drones came around. So it's been a couple years. So
I was hoping for some good questions. Anybody got some good questions?
Yeah, anybody. Let's get some good questions for Brian. No, let's put Brian on the spot. Let's talk about Brian's video quality. All right. Let's talk about the fact that he uses an Autel. Actually, that's not really a bad
orange.
thing. It's orange. Yeah, it's like
I did like the orange as well.
Two. Yeah,
it's a little easier to spot for me. My eyes aren't so great, so it's a little easier for me to spot in the sky.
Yes.
I don't know how high Trump Tower is, Joe, but I know that the pricing on the drinks at the bar are high. It's the only place I've ever walked out of.
Yeah, those
before getting the drink.
That's horrible. That's pretty bad. Trump Tower is the second largest building.
For a friend. All right.
Trump Tower is more than 400 feet.
You know what, Neil? I was wondering about that too. Can you shoot fly while driving in a vehicle but not being the driver? Can you fly from a moving vehicle? But using like follow me or something like that?
Well,
Or
see,
orbit?
that's a gray area, but I don't think it's that gray. I think that as long as you're not as long as you're not driving the car. I mean, if you're driving the car and the drone at the same time, no, absolutely not. Not allowed. Not even remotely. That's not even safe in my book, because you'll be paying what you'll hit a cow with the car, or you hit a tree with a drone, or both. I mean, granted, that probably won't happen, but that's just not safe. I think people have done it. I know people have done it. I know that what is the rule? You're not supposed to be in a moving vehicle flying a drone. I mean, boat or anything like that. But you know, when
Well,
we're
there's
on the
plenty of
tugboat,
video out there with that.
yeah. I mean, when we were on the tugboat was moving. You know, those things don't move fast, and we flew from it because we could. I mean, we just took off from it. And it wasn't. We weren't like we were going a distance. We moved it like about 500 feet. That's all we did. We turned the tugboat around. Well, I didn't. Phil did. He's the captain. And it was, you know, so you're not supposed to do that, but people do it. I don't know if it's a legal thing. I would have to look back on Remote Pilot 101, and there's a link below.
Variable says it's okay.
Oh, yeah. So if Matt says it's okay, hang on.
And Joe seems to think he can fly at 100 miles per hour. Will they even be able to see it?
Joe flying over 100.
He's asking for his friend again.
So, Joe, you can tell your friend that flying over 100 miles per hour is actually illegal in a drone. So, there you're breaking the law there.
What drone goes that fast?
Oh, there's a drone that goes that fast. Watch Flight Test. Watch their YouTube channel.
But
yeah.
Like regular market drones?
No. He flies racing drones. So his drones, he probably has a drone that'll push a fast speed. I don't know how fast. Tell me. I mean, I don't want to know if it goes over 100.
Okay, Owen.
Yeah, I read that. I actually had to allow him to put that on there.
Good one, Owen.
The speed limit is 100.
Yeah,
we got Joe built his. Yeah,
we got 2 minutes left for the roast. If you guys get it all in now.
Yeah, let's get it in. Let's roast Brian.
Stella had a good question too.
So if you're not driving, as long as you're in a remote location. Thank you, Drone Wolf Media. That was the remote location was the words I was looking for.
So this is a better one for you, Brad. But Stella asks, how far do you think DJI will restrict our drones given the recent press in the U.S. and UK? And I'm going to say something real quick on it, but I think it's just going to get worse and worse as these people are doing stupid things with them. And that's why I hate to see it. I mean, you know, I don't want to be restricted because somebody else is doing stupid stuff with their drone. That's my opinion. And
I agree completely. I agree completely. Who knows what the restrictions are going to be, but I think what's going to end up happening is that DJI is going to put so many restrictions on is that everybody's going to go to Autel or to Typhoon or to Parrot or to any one of other 50 companies that pop up over the next few years. Because if they keep restricting their users, the users are going to go away. Because, you know, Brian, you have an Autel. What restrictions do you have on yours?
None that I know of.
Yeah. And that's my point.
Regular stuff that everybody has to follow.
But your drone will allow you to go past those. Your drone will allow you to fly past. I mean, I think you go 1.2 miles, which let me tell you, even with an orange drone, that's pushing line of sight.
Oh no, jeez, Brad! It gets 2 or 3 blocks away, and I can't see that thing anymore.
You might need to get your eyes checked.
Quit approving these messages from Owen. Isn't it your bedtime, Owen?
I didn't have to approve that one. He just got it through.
This kid.
Oh, he's a funny kid.
Obviously. I wish I had known it was going this way when you were interviewing him, because I'd have grilled him a little bit more. Oh,
yeah. I wish I'd have known that, too. Conspiracy here. DJI is an extension of Chinese intelligence agency gathering info on each user. What do you guys think? Neil, you know what? I mean, you know, everybody knows my wife is Chinese. I love her to death. She's a great woman. Her Chinese government is not so lovable. The Chinese government owns almost everything in China. I mean, they control it. You guys know that they're in everything. So
I think it's actually everything, Brett.
Yeah, I mean, it's you. They are. They have it. You understand what I'm trying to say? I can't even think of the words now. So I wouldn't put it past DJI. I mean, if the Chinese government said, DJI, we want you to give us all that information, their only response is yes. Otherwise, they're shut down, and that's it. I mean, that is their option: is yes or shut down. So if the government wants that information, they will get it. So that's why, whether it's a conspiracy or not, it can happen, and that's why the military is questioning. Hey, we don't want DJI drones flying around our bases. That's a problem. That's a security risk. And that's why the government is like, well, we got to really be careful with DJI, and I agree. And that's why I really hope some other company comes around, preferably American based. I mean, Intel's getting some stuff out. I'm really hoping they get some drones coming out more. What was the other company I saw? Kespri. I think that's a U.S. company. Kespri is putting out some industrial style drones, and they've just got a big round of investments coming through, like another, I think, $32 million. So we've got all these other drone companies. If DJI really starts having these problems with the communist government, the Communist Party, the Chinese Communist Party, I think that's what it is, that could actually put them out of business. I mean, that could really or hurt their market share. Because right now, I don't know the actual number, but the number that keeps popping in my head is they have a 72% market share. That seems like a high number, but it seems almost realistic considering everybody I know, 99% of you guys own DJI. Brian doesn't, Matt doesn't, and Neil doesn't. So that makes me curious. Of course, Joe builds his own. I bet Joe could build. Joe, maybe you should start your own drone company. So see, look at that. Neil knows how to push my buttons too. Oh, and DJ has the deal with Apple too. I just saw that. So tell me, okay, Brian, your opinion on the whole China DJI thing.
You know what? I was so distracted by Owen that I did not listen to that entire thing you said.
Okay, well then don't worry about what I said. But what do you say about what Neil said? What is your opinion on that conspiracy thing?
Honestly, I thought it was a joke to start. Is that not a joke?
I don't take it like I think it isn't. I mean, it could be a joke, but
yeah,
it's a real thing.
Like I said, I mean, if I see something on the news about drones, I'll check it out. But usually the DJI stuff doesn't really. Okay, conspiracy theory here. DJI has an extension. It could be. Who knows? I don't think there's many places that you go now where you're not being, being watched or filmed or at this point it's everywhere.
Exactly, but I think that the government is more worried about we don't want to give our top secrets away because there's a drone sitting in the room, which that probably is not happening. They probably have other ways to keep things out. And yeah, I went off a little bit on a side, but but China's government really does have their fingers in everything. They are open. They openly reverse engineer patents from other countries. They will hack, patent offices, get their designs, and have their companies. I mean, they openly do this. They have a system for doing this, for reverse engineering, because they don't believe in intellectual property. I mean, we have the Bean here in Chicago.
So Neil was kidding.
They have their own version. Oh, I know. I saw that. But yeah, Neil and I'll have to talk about that tomorrow. But we have the Bean here in Chicago. Anish Kapoor was the artist. He put it up, blah, blah, blah. Well, China said, you know what? We're going to put in a Bean. They put in an identical sculpture to Anish Kapoor. Anish Kapoor goes over there and tries to sue them for money, saying that's, intellectual property. And they're like, what's intellectual property? They don't care. So you got to be careful with that. I mean, I think that with the new leader, I think they want to play nicer. At least I hope they want to play nicer with the global community. We'll see.
All right, Brad.
I could be wrong. Yeah.
I got to jump.
All right. Well, we'll say bye to Brian. Brian, we'll talk to you later. I'm going to log off here in just a few minutes, and I'm going to make it so you can't hear me sign off.
Okay. Well, everybody fly safe and bye.
So Brian's gone. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. And Neil, you're pushing buttons. I know you were kidding, but anyway, the conspiracy theories are there, and I can go off on them. There is a kidney bean in Chicago, and a lima bean totally different. Oh, yes. Yes, I'm glad he came around. It was a lot of fun, and you guys did roast him pretty good. And I think Owen, I think you took him a little bit by surprise, which is fine with me. So, guys, I think this has been a wonderful chat. We still have 9 people in here, but I am going to be heading out. I'm going to pop over to my beautiful end screen here. I got to do this a little bit differently today, and there it is. There we go. So, guys, what I'd like to say again. I'm going to leave that one hidden. Anyway, what I'd like to say again is please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit like. If you are watching this on a replay, I hope you left some comments below. If you'd like to help support the channel, I've got stuff on my shop at spreadshirt.com. I also, if you want to use any of the links that I have on Amazon for the products that I use, go ahead and use those in the description below. And I think that's everything I have. And again, thank you all for showing up, and I'll probably sit in the comments for just a little bit longer. And until next time, everybody, fly safe. And as Brian said, bye.